Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-iliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, dulot ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka masisingil. Sa lahat ng tulog, sa sigat at sa lalim mong babang, may ginagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawad mo'y tagumpay na nagniligid. Tuwing at araw ng kailan pa may madilig. Lumalang araw ng 100% buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang higaya ng pagpay makahamit, ang mga na'y ng dahil sa'yo.
Magandang umaga, NAMRIANs. We are now on the first day of the third month of the first quarter of 2021. At alam naman natin kung anong meron kapag buwan ng Marso. We are now celebrating the National Women's Month celebration. Last year, unfortunately, na-cut short ang celebration natin ng National Women's Month celebration. All because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Natatandaan ko pa noong March 13, is pinatawag kami sa GFPS para pag-usapan kung ano na ang mangyayari sa mga activities natin sa remaining days ng March noong 2020. At doon, unfortunately, napagkasunduan namin na itigil na because of this pandemic. Malungkot, but at the same time, kailangan naman talaga nating gawin yun kasi hindi naman talaga kakaiba ang nararanasan. Maraming beses tayong sinubok ng pagkakataon at ngayon na medyo unti-unti na tayong nakakapag-adjust at nakaka-adapt sa pandemyang ito, itutuloy pa rin natin, fortunately, for this year, ang ating National Women's Month celebration. And for this month, or for this year, ang ating magiging tema ay Wana Laban sa Pandemya, Kaya. This year's campaign is different from the previous ones because it is set in the COVID-19 pandemic backdrop, which posed both challenges and opportunities for women. Hence, this year's observance highlights women's participation in battling the pandemic as well as discusses gender issues exacerbated by the pandemic. It is the time to delve deep into the gender issues that emerge or become more felt during the health crisis. Feature women who thrive despite the circumstances and share support systems and government programs that address women's issues and concerns. At dito tayo sa NAMRIA ay hindi rin magpapahuli kaya magkakaroon tayo ng series of activities for our National Women's Month celebration. And to give us more details on the activities lined up for this Women's Month celebration is the focal person, the newly designated focal person of the NAMRIA Gender and Development Focal Point System, none other than the OIC Director of the Resource Data Analysis Branch, Engineer Ofelia Boss Epi T. Castro. Take it away, boss.
Hi, good morning po. Today, we mark the beginning of the observance of Women's Month. It aims to strengthen the advocacy of gender and equality and women empowerment and give us due recognition and celebrate the contributions of Filipino women in our society. Achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls is one of the 17 goals under the United Nations Agenda for Sustainable Development, which aims to end poverty, fight inequality and injustice. The Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Global Agenda zeroes in on first, ending all forms of discrimination and violence against women. Second, recognizing and valuing unpaid care and domestic work. And third, ensuring women's full and effective participation and equal opportunities for leadership at all levels of decision making, whether in politics, economic, and public life. For this year's observance of Women's Month, on behalf of the NAMRIA Gender and Development Focal Point System, or GFPS, I would like to express our pride and pleasure in helping the agency do its share for the national government in realizing partnership for change and full implementation of Republic Act 1917, the Magna Carta of Women. Captured through the continuing theme, we make change work for women. Okay, we stands for women's empowerment, and change means compassionate, harmonized networks for gender equality. Making change work for women is anchored on the idea that development is based on malasakit at pagbabago. So who is going to make change work for women? Siyempre tayong lahat yun. So in our various capacities, whether as officials, employees, or as private individuals, we can be partners for a change that is gender responsive. The theme emphasizes that women should be active drivers in bringing about positive changes. The NAMRIA GFPS has lined up series of activities. So aside from this morning's kick-off program, there is the distribution of God paraphernalia for all NAMRIA employees. The God exhibit on the NAMRIA Daycare Center, which is actually celebrating its 20th year this year. So the use of all-women cast Lupang Hinirang video in all Monday morning flag ceremonies in March, and we encourage everyone to wear something purple every Monday of this month. So, the bida si Juana or Juan sa panahon ng Corona photo contest. The mechanics will be announced later, and it will also be posted in our NAMRIAN's Facebook page. The forum entitled Juana, Nangunguna Laban sa Pandemya of the Philippine Commission on Women or PCW. We will be holding a GFPS strategic planning workshop. The showing of videos from NAMRIA and PCW's Juana Cares, We Care, Let Everyone Care. Meron din tayong Juana Zumba, laban sa pandemya. Gaganapin dyan lang sa multipurpose covered court at sa hydrography branch grounds. So there will be distribution of IEC materials to clients in NAMRIA Fort Bonifacio, San Nicolas, and Quezon City Map Sales Office at sa ating client service units. Meron ding webinar talk on achieving work-life balance during the pandemic, and users training on the data management application ng Gender and Development Information System or GADIS. A webinar on women inspiring other women career talk. Hanging of streamer to observe women with disability on March 30. And last but not the least, the culmination event on March 31 with the awarding of the photo contest winners. Meron tayong first, second, and third prizes sa People's Choice. So the NAMRIA GFPS looks forward to our participation in these various activities. Final schedule of the events will be posted in our bulletin boards and in the God Corner at the NAMRIA website. So let us continue supporting the advocacy on women empowerment and gender equality. Dito naman sa NAMRIA, walang problema. The GFPS would like to thank our administrator and the management for their continued support in all of our GAD activities. na talagang pinag-uukulan nila ng oras, atensyon at malasakit ang kapakanan ng mga kababaihan. So guys, you have to admit, babae talaga ang nagbibigay kulay sa inyong buhay. So whether kamag-anak, kaibigan, may bahay, kapitbahay, kahit si My Loves or si Be, na minsan medyo makulit at maingay, kami pa rin kababaihan ang nagbibigay sa inyo ng kasiyahan. At sigurado ako, boring ang buhay ni Adan kung wala si Eva. So maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Boss Epi. Tunay nga namang din ka-excite ang mga magiging activities natin for this month. Isa siguro sa mga dapat abangan dito ay ang pa-contest ng ating NAMRIA Camera Club at ibang mga series of webinars and learning opportunities na pwedeng mapakinabangan not only for women but also of that of men. So, to give us his message of solidarity for all the women of NAMRIA is none other than our dear Administrator, Undersecretary Peter N. Tiangco, PhD, CESO 1.
Good morning, fellow NAMRIANs. First, allow me to greet all of you Happy Women's Month, lalo na sa mga magigiting, masisipag, naggagandahan at nagseseksihang kababaihan ng NAMRIA. As we officially start the observance of the National Women's Month, we recognize the untiring efforts and dedication of our women during these trying times. Your contributions to public service significantly account for NAMRIA's accomplishments in the past years. Beyond the workplace, you lay the very foundation of our families and communities. So to all of the women of NAMRIA, we celebrate you as agents of change. From 2017 to 2022, the recurring theme of our Women's Month celebration is We Make Change Work for Women. The celebrations highlight the empowerment of women as active contributors to and claim holders of development. The theme also seeks to inform and calls on the engagement of women as stakeholders of government programs and services. This year's campaign, Juana Laban sa Pandemya, Kaya, is different from the previous ones, as it highlights the challenges and opportunities of women in battling the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Philippine Commission on Women, or PCW, the campaign also provides a platform to discuss gender issues exacerbated by the pandemic and the support services made available by the government to address these concerns. The DNR is adopting the theme, Women Can Make Change in Climate and Disaster Resiliency. The aim is to put women at the forefront of climate and disaster actions, and as well as to push for their equal and active participation in issues concerning the environment, climate change, and disaster risk reduction. NAMRIA supports this theme in recognition of many contributions of women before and during natural calamities and disaster events, as well as in the subsequent recovery and rehabilitation efforts. In NAMRIA, we firmly believe that women's rights are everyone's rights. We bear in mind as we strengthen our implementation of the Magna Carta of Women through gender-responsive projects and programs. We also continue to develop gender and development policies to build an equitable environment in the agency where women and men alike can realize their full potentials. And as social and economic recovery from the pandemic gains ground, we will further develop initiatives for women empowerment and gender equality at the workplace. After all, we make these changes work for the women of NAMRIA. Our month-long observance promises to be another learning opportunity for all of us. Thank you to the NAMRIA God Focal Point System for spearheading the activities for this year's Women's Month celebration. We give them recognition for planning, implementing, and overseeing the agency's efforts towards furthering gender equality and addressing gender issues. I enjoin everyone, regardless of gender, to actively participate in this month's lineup of activities. We hope to raise awareness as we continue to advocate for gender equality and fairness in everything that we do. In closing, we salute the strong and resilient women of NAMRIA. Ipagpatuloy natin ang pagsulong sa karapatan at proteksyon ng mga kababaihan. Mabuhay at muli magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Maraming salamat, Sir Peter, sa inyong napakahalagang mensahe para sa mga kababaihan ng NAMRIA. Taus-puso po kaming nagpapasalamat sa inyong palagiang suporta na ibinibigay sa aming lahat. At ngayon, NAMRIA, na nailahad na po ang lahat ng activities for this Women's Month celebration. Hari naway tayo'y mag-participate fully sa darating na mga series of activities. At lagi po nating pakatandaan na tayo palaging mag-ingat dahil nananatili pa rin ang threat ng COVID-19 pandemic, hindi lang dito sa Pilipinas, bagkus sa buong mundo. Muli, para sa lahat ng kababaihan ng NAMRIA, kaya natin ito. Maraming salamat at nagbibigay-pugay po ang lahat ng kalalakihan ng NAMRIA sa inyong kagalingan. Maraming salamat po.